Good morning. Welcome to another week of One-on-One with Father Juan, and I am here joined once again with our administrator, Father Juan. How are you, Father Juan?
Very good, Eloy. Good morning, and good morning to all of you. I hope you are having a wonderful, hope your cup of coffee is energizing you for this day.
So you've been pretty busy this whole week with things going on within the Catholic community of Central Racine, and we had for the first time our very first Bell City Catholic Summer Speaker Series. And so if you weren't there, it was pretty enlightening, wouldn't you say, Father
Yes, it was great. So I love to be the priest in these three parishes because the turnout of the people and the involvement and the commitment of all of you is awesome. So that in that regard, anybody would love to be a priest in a parish like this where everybody is ready to jump to any of the initiatives that we have. It was Bell City Catholic. Our idea, our main goal is to create a space free of judgment, a space in which we could have a very candid conversation, a space in which we could be open-minded, we could be respectful to each other, and without being too churchy. And it was really good. I think we hit all those notes there with the Wednesday evening. It was good to have all of you there. The presentation was very informative, but I think that we were discussing with Eloy that as we evaluate the day, that the highlight was all the conversations and the back and forth of the conversation after the presentation. So it was great. Remember, we still 2 more to go. So next Wednesday, 6:30, again in Ancorch. You are welcome to sign up, but if you, for some reason, you are unable to do so, you just can't. The only requirement is that you be older of 21 years old and open-minded to have any good conversation and discussion there. So please remember that we have that coming.
Yeah, so that's the Summer Speaker Series taking place this Wednesday, the 28th, 6:30 p.m. at Uncorked, 240 Main Street. You can sign up on our website, cccracine.org. So you don't want to miss that. And this week we have, I think it was going to be about social justice on taking a stand without being political, right?
Yeah.
So that's something that I think you don't want to miss out on, which is the Mass on the Grass.
So. Yeah, so tomorrow we have our Mass by the Lighthouse. It's an opportunity to pray and to celebrate together. Nothing fancy, just out there in the lighthouse. Well, nothing fancy in the lighthouse, no? Oxymoron, but anyway. So, but we're just gonna be out there sitting on the grass, having Mass, and then spend some time together. So you need to sign up for that because we have a limited number of people that the Lighthouse allows us to have there. Second, you need to bring your lawn chair, so a chair that you can sit on, and then the picnic food that you're gonna have, your own picnic food. So and then come with a heart open to pray and worship. So we are having the same masses on the weekend. So that's the thing. If you are concerned that you cannot sign up, well, the other masses continue to be normal. This is just an extra mass that I decided to put on so that we can come together. So I'm inviting anyone from who speaks English and wants to participate in a mass in English from St. Patrick's, St. Richard's, and St. Edward's as a mass on the lighthouse for the Catholic community in Central Racine. So,
and again, the website on that is cccracine.org. And remember, this is not a potluck or anything like that. This is just bring your own picnic basket if you're going to have something after the Mass, and then a little bit of socializing. So don't forget your lawn chair and your picnic basket, and try to register if you can on our website. So a couple of things. So don't forget Bell City Catholic next week, Wednesday, and tomorrow, the Mass on the Grass. So as you can see, Father Juan in his first couple of months, he's just keeping us busy, running wild. And so a lot going on within the Catholic community center Racine. So, but
well, and actually that's next week also. We cannot, because when we meet again on Saturday 31st, you probably already, that will be news for you. But if you happen to have a young person who just did confirmation, grandson or son or whomever, or daughter or whomever who's done confirmation, or have a teenager who is in the senior year and transition into college, or if it's somebody the first year of college or something like that, we want them to participate in an event that we are putting for Young Links that is July 30 on Friday. That's why I have to say now, because when we come next Saturday, that would have been already done. So Friday, July 30, from 5 to 8. And this is more a gospel initiative.
Yes.
What I want to people is come and see. So Jesus tells the disciples, come and see, when they ask him, where does he live? So I want to come and see all of you there with us. And first, a meeting and gathering that we're having is to have a conversation and discussion what would be helpful from the church for all of the transitioning between high school into college, transitioning into adult faith after they have done confirmation. So July 30, 5 sign up there. Eloy is putting all the information there for you, but they are welcome. And that one is just for those who are transitioning there. It's called our program Young Links.
Young Links, trying to keep them connected to their parishes. So again, this one is specific. So we're looking for anybody who has been confirmed and anybody in college. So if we want to stay connected with you. So this is the time. And so if you have anybody, if you know somebody, a parent, not a parent, but if you have grandparents, if you have a grand transitioning, please get them involved and introduce them to the Young Link taking place on Friday, July 30th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. The information is on our Catholic Community and Central Racine website. So once again, you're just going to keep more. Anything else you want to throw out here, Father Juan?
No more for now, for this week, okay?
All right. So there's a lot going on here, going on in the news, and that's kind of, we don't have much time to talk about it, but I feel like maybe it's something that we do need to kind of address and maybe just bring this out there. A lot of news that's starting. Pope Francis issuing a letter called MOTU PROPRIO, and it's a letter that talks about the Latin Mass. So I'm going to show you a video that I saw online. I'm going to talk a little bit about that and ask you some. I have some questions that I would like to ask you. So let's take a look here.
In a letter dated July 16th, addressed to the world's bishops, Pope Francis placed sweeping restrictions on the celebration of the extraordinary form of the Latin Mass, or the Mass as it was celebrated before the liturgical reforms of the Second Vatican Council. While retired Pope Benedict had sought to liberalize the celebration of the older form of the Latin Rite liturgy, Pope Francis's new document underlines that the modern Mass is the unique expression of the Roman liturgy. Henceforth, priests who wish to celebrate according to the older liturgical books will need to demonstrate to their bishop's satisfaction their acceptance of the teachings of the Second Vatican Council, obtain his explicit permission to use the older rite, have additional qualifications in the Latin language, and used the vernacular for the readings during its celebration.
Okay, so as you can see in the news, that's kind of been the talk of what's going on. So hopefully you can shed some light on what is actually going on and what does this document mean.
Okay, yes, Eloy. Is kind of not the title of the document, but actually is a title that is given to documents that are promoted.
Okay.
So this is by the Pope's own initiative that we have to. He promotes that document. So nobody asked him to that document. He's just from his own initiative. He goes out and put it out there. So this is not like other encyclicals or other documents. Doesn't even have to it's just his own initiative. And then what the MOTU PROPRIO was is leading or dealing with is on the use of the Roman liturgy prior to the reform of 1970. So that's the focus. So in other words, is Pope Francis see a challenge in the church, see this situation in the church, and decides on his own accord to promulgate this document to say this is what we're going to do in order regarding the use of the liturgy prior to 1970.
Okay. You know, and like oftentimes you read within the media and you hear things that, you know, it was kind of sounding like when I first saw it, it sounded like he was maybe changing things, which it's changing, but like rescinding what Benedict had done before. But that's not what's going on in here. It sounds like we're just doing some modifications to it. That's what I'm kind of gathering rather than what I'm hearing within the media.
Yeah, again, one of my main things is that media tends to say things to documents or to people who say things that are not really there. But yeah, Pope Francis, what he's doing is that Pope Benedict XVI allowed the use of the Roman Missal published in 1962, which is prior to the liturgy reform from the Vatican Second Vatican Council, and he allowed people to use that missal and that liturgy rite for creating unity in the church, because there were some people who would love to participate in that, and people who probably were children when they were in that liturgy, and then suddenly the liturgy changed, and the reform of the liturgy changed, and then they kind of felt lost. So Pope Benedict XVI said, well, this is a good thing to do, so that it will bring unity and will bring a space of prayer, of liturgy, or a space for people to celebrate and feel included in the church. That was the intent, the original intent, which is being done. But then what happens is that the liturgy and Pope Francis is looking at the universal church, and what it has been kind of developing is that the use of this 1962 Roman Missal had given to some people the power of authority, I would say, to start denying the liturgical reform that happened in the Second Vatican Council. In other words, to say, falsely, claim that the real liturgy, or the real Mass, or the real celebration is the one done with the 1962 Missal, and not with what the Second Vatican Council proposed. So by Pope Francis listening to that and doing a consultation to all the bishops in the world, he decided to put out this MOTU PROPRIO to tackle that problem, because it's like the original intent that was to bring unity and bring people into the church to feel welcome, now is doing something else, and that's what he tries to correct here with this document. Yeah.
And as I've known from the past, when Saint John Paul II was Pope, I remember asking about Latin Mass, and I remember the priest telling us that it can be done, but the bishop has to give permission to do it. And so, is that kind of where what this document is saying also, is that, you know, if a priest wants to do it, that it's up to the ordinary?
Okay, so like let's come on, like maybe clarify two things here.
Okay.
First of all, I could use the Roman Missal that was promulgated with the liturgical reform in 1970 in Latin. Okay, that's a language.
Yeah.
I could use it, same mass that we are celebrating, looking at you, saying in Latin, the same rite, everything. That will be in Latin, and that could be used. What we are talking about here is the use of the 1962 Roman Missal that would place, or the rite, that liturgy would be celebrated in a different way, which is facing east with the back to the people, and all different. I've never been in a mass in that traditional mass, but the idea is that it's a completely different mass that the people do not participate, or we don't have the full participation as we have it in the vernacular language. You know, because Latin is a language,
Right.
but the thing here is the use of the Roman liturgy prior to 1970, which would be when you celebrate to the back of the people, and the older people here remember that the priest would go on saying, and then we would have the bells for calling the people that were consecrated Roman monks. That's the original. So people were doing their own bells and then more signs that now we have to be more prayerful. No. But that's what this document is dealing with, and what has become, because some people out there do not believe or trust or agree, receive the Reformation that the Second Vatican Council did. So by using this Roman Missal prior to the 1970, they are kind of also implying that this is the way it to be, and diminishing the authority of the teaching of the Church that it was promulgated in the Second Vatican Council. And that's, of course. And the Second Vatican Council did a lot of great things for the Church Universal, a lot of changes that we don't really see them much because of one reality, is that we all focus on the liturgy. The liturgy was the change that happened like dramatically and drastically, because we went from celebrating in Latin to the vernacular and having more like engagement and participation with the people that we used to have. That was really a change that people saw. But other changes that were there is like that openness to have ecumenism, this dialogue with our brothers and sisters, with in the evangelical churches, even to the point of theological teaching, to say that, well, we as Catholic Church, of course, is the Church of Christ that started, but we could find rays of truth, or small seeds of the truth, or small seeds of God in other religions and other Christian denominations. So it's we have all the means of salvation, but we could also, outside the boundaries of the church, would be the presence of God, and that's like amazing teaching, and that's what we were discussing last Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah. And well, that's a lot. It's a lot. It's pretty interesting, and I know there's a lot, and we can't cover it all, and within the time that we have here with this document. I encourage you to kind of look. So I guess my next question, just really quick for you, for those that are concerned about it, is it going away, or is it it's not going away? I mean, that's kind of how.
What Pope Francis is saying? Well, the unique expression of the lex orandi, of the liturgy of the people, of the prayer of the Catholic Church, is the Roman rite, the Missal that came out of the Reformation on the Second Vatican Council. Yeah, that's what the Roman Missal that you and I use for praying on daily basis. That's like the liturgy of the people. That's the liturgy of the church. That's the unique expression. To use the Missal of 1962, that is previous to the Second Vatican Council, is just allowed for a specific group of people that needs or wants that, and of course, the law, as you know, it only starts fulfilling or committed from the date that is promulgated. Okay, so from July 16, all this changed. But the previous priests who were celebrating and have already the permission from the bishop to celebrate the Eucharist, so they could continue to do that. So each and the idea is that each diocese, that's what Pope Benedict says in his document, is that the bishop will name a priest who will celebrate this Eucharist or using this liturgy for the people of the diocese that need that. So it's not once every parish now we're going to have the two. No, it's one specific place that the bishop would appoint, and that was before Pope Francis. And now what Pope Francis is saying, well, that what is there in place, continue, but it needs to be approved by the bishop. And then if any new priest being ordained after July 16th would like to do this, they have to they have to ask permission to the bishop, and the bishop needs to ask the Holy See to see if this is something that they were going to approve or not.
So it's warranted.
Yeah, so that again, because the priest who is celebrating that, and that's what Pope Francis is also getting at. So a priest who is celebrating the liturgy of the 1962, this priest needs to have a heart of charity and love so that he does not mislead his parishioners or the people who come to Mass to believe that they are better than all those of us who go to the other Mass. Yeah. No, that's the thing. So basically, it is a big change, of course, but it's kind of refraining the free will of many priests who are being doing that. So that's the situation. The Archdiocese of Milwaukee has a place approved for it, but I think there have been other priests who they have just gone and do it by their own without asking for permission and like that, and that needs to stop. That's what Pope Francis is saying, and it's only the place that is approved and the priest who is approved by the bishop to be the representative to celebrate that liturgy. Okay.
So a lot of information on this, and the link for this document, we've taken it and we've downloaded a PDF version of it. If you'd like to click on that link, you can download a copy of this document and read it for yourself. And if you have questions further on this, I know within 20 minutes time frame, we can't cover everything on this for this topic, and it's a big topic. And so, but we wanted to just kind of touch on it. And if you have any questions, feel free to text message Father Juan, Fr. Juan at cccracine.org. Go ahead and inundate his email box with questions that you would have about this. It is important information, and we got some that wanted to inquire on it. So anything else you wanted to add on this, Father Juan?
I think that's pretty good. That's all, Eloy. Thank you.
All right. So don't forget that there's a lot going on this week. So I want to thank you again, Father Juan, for touching a little bit on this, and everything that you're doing within this Catholic community of Central Racine. We truly appreciate everything that you're doing. And remember, if you have any questions or ideas, feel free to let us know on any of our topics that we're doing. So a lot going on. Don't forget, we have the Bell City Catholic going on next week, Wednesday. Tomorrow, we have the Mass on the Grass, so don't forget about that coming up. And also, we have the Young Links taking place. So anybody, for those that have any grandchildren, please get them involved. Remember, we are the Catholic Community of Central Racine, one faith, one family.